their email, I haven't read everything yet.
Because that was the other time.
I'm looking.
Yeah. Good.
Started about it.
The pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, meeting's called to order. Let's see, Greco is not present. We will now go to item 4.
I'll make a motion to recess the commissioners meeting and open the salary board.
I'll second that. All in favor? Aye.
Abstain.
Go to the salary board. Salary board called to order. Jim Greco is not present. Okay, item 3, approve the minutes of the June 24th.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of June 24th salary board.
I'll second it.
Motion by Treasurer Rundick, second by Commissioner Warren to approve the item 3, the minutes of the June 24th salary board. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 4.
Make a motion to approve item number 4 is listed on your agenda.
Second that. Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Hall to eliminate the full-time non-union position of Assistant Chief Assessor in the Assessment Office. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nay.
Yay, 1 nay. Okay, item 5.
Make a motion to create the full-time non-union position of Director of Assessment in the Assessment Office at the salary of $39,500, a minimum of 40 hours a week, benefits according to the government mandated requirements effective July 22nd, 2015, for the recommendation of R.S. Stout, Acting Chief Whip.
I'll second that. Any questions or comments? Yes.
Why are you doing this? Like, whose position is being changed? Full-time, non-union director? Who is the director? Is it the same person you're talking about, or you just
Yeah,
changing?
it'll show up in the regular commissioners meeting, the individual. Yeah.
So is that going to be the base salary for the position, or is that going to be the salary plus?
That's the current salary right now.
So it would reflect like her years of,
Yes.
okay.
No, I think that should be added to the motion,
What?
that the salary is the current salary, just as we did for Sharon in the treasurer's
Right.
office.
This is the current salary. I'll agree to that change. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nay.
Okay, any public comment on the salary board? Yes.
When you eliminated the full-time position of Assistant Chief Assessor,
Mhm.
who is that? Who's the assistant that you eliminated?
That was Mary Nolte.
Mary who?
Nolte.
Nolte?
Yes.
And is she back in another position?
She's taking position number 5.
Number 5?
It's the same person. Okay, item 6.
I'll make a motion to close the salary board and return to the commissioners meeting.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
Abstain.
Item 3.
Back to the commissioners. All right. Item 5 in the commissioners meeting is tabled. Item 6.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 6 is listed on your agenda.
We'll second that. Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Hall to approve item 6, the ratify and approve the cash disbursements, electronic payments. Questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. So carried.
Make a motion to approve item number 7 is listed on your agenda.
Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Hall to approve item 7 on the agenda to ratify and approve the stated seminar request and payment for request. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 8.
I'll make a motion to approve item number 8 is listed on the agenda, but I just question the Mashopin address. Is it actually Mashopin or is it Susquehanna County? Is it a township inn?
How to answer that.
Okay,
It's
all right.
in your stack of papers though. Under number 8.
Like Auburn Township would have it in the shop.
Southwest School.
I was just curious, that's all.
I don't say any other questions or comments? All in favor? Yes, Vera?
Do corrections officers have to live in our county, or they can
No.
be out of the county?
No, they can be out of the county. All in favor?
Aye.
I'm gonna,
I'll make a motion to approve item number 9 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that. Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Hall. Approve item 9 on the agenda to ratify the hiring of Patricia Lewis of Brockney to the corrections office position. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye. Make a motion to approve item number 10 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that. Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Hall to approve item 10, ratify the hiring of Jonathan Zelwitz of Brackney, the open corrections officer position. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Item 11.
Make a motion to approve item number 11 is listed on your agenda.
Second that. Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Hall to approve item 11 on the agenda, the hiring, ratify the hiring of Lucas Estes of Montrose to the part-time position of corrections officer. Questions or comments? Yes.
Okay, I see here 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, that means new people that are being hired for corrections officers. Now, this has been going on for, it seems like months. Why is there it seems like for several months, new hirings? What is going on in the jail?
They're trying to get to full staff. We're not at full staff yet.
And what's full staff, how many would they need for
I
full?
can remember exactly, I think it's 26 or 30, I can't remember.
For the
yet.
whole jail?
Yeah.
26 or 30 for the whole thing?
Yeah.
And you're having, so are you having trouble getting people, sounds like? I mean, you've been working on trying to get full staff for how long?
You always have a turnover, especially in the jail or 911, people that take positions and realize it's not what they're really looking for, and so they leave, and you'll always have a turnover in those positions because of the hours, and they're 7-day-a-week, 24-hour jobs.
So you mean they're working 7 days a week, these people?
No.
No. What do they work, 5 days a week? What's their job?
Well, they normally work 5 days a week, yeah.
And then other people fill in for the other days?
Right.
So that's their, and what about the price per hour? Is that a turnoff to people
No.
that want more money, maybe?
No. Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye. Make a motion to approve item number 12 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that. Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Hall to approve Amanda Adams and Shopin to the full-time 911 dispatcher trainee position, $12 per hour, 40 hours a week. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye. Make a motion to approve item number 13 is listed on the agenda.
Second that. Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Hall to approve item 13 on the agenda, ratify the transfer of Michael Torres from Edwardsville to the open full-time position of the corrections officer. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye. Make a motion to approve item number 14 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that. Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Hall to approve item 14 on the agenda to ratify the transfer of Miranda McMahon of Halsted to the open full-time position of corrections officer. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye. Make a motion to approve item number 15 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that. Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Hall, approve item 15 on the agenda to ratify the termination of Jamie Azar from the jail per the recommendation of the warden. Questions or comments?
Do you know how long she lasted?
Couldn't tell you. All in favor?
Aye. Make a motion to approve item number 16, the transfer of Mary Nolde from Assistant Chief Assessor to full-time non-union position Director of Assessment, effective July 22nd at a salary, at the current salary of $39,500, minimum 40 hours a week, for the recommendation of R.S. Stout, Acting Chief Clerks.
I'll second that. Questions or comments? Yes.
What's the difference between Director of Assessment and the Chief Assessor's position?
The chief assessor handles the, will be handling all the technical stuff for the assessment. The director will handle all the personnel and operations. Yes.
Now, if she left the assistant chief assessor position, who's going to replace that position?
Nobody, we're not filling that position. We eliminated that position.
You eliminated that one?
Yes, not hiring anybody additional. All in favor? 17.
Make a motion to approve item number 17, but just to add, to acknowledge the transfer.
Okay. Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Hall to approve and acknowledge the transfer of Courtney Canfield from the intake officer in domestic relations to the full-time union position of second deputy pathonetary. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so carried. Item 18.
Make a motion to approve item number 18 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that. Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Hall to approve item 18 on the agenda to exonerate the Tax Claim Bureau from collecting delinquent taxes on the following per the recommendation of Kathy Bennett, Tax Claim Director, from the borough parcel, and just the one parcel. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 19.
Make a motion to approve item number 19 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that. Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Hall to approve item 19 on the agenda, the signing of a memorandum of understanding and agreement between Susquehanna County Schools and Susquehanna County Commissioners Juvenile Probation Department. Questions or comments? Yes.
How's the population and children that are considered juveniles, how is that doing? I mean, are the rates the same as far as children who are in that program in the past couple of years?
Pretty much stays pretty level.
Pretty stable?
Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Item 20.
Make a motion to approve item number 20 is listed on your agenda.
I'll second that. Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Hall to approve the Lackawanna and Susquehanna County Drug and Alcohol fiscal year contracts as so stated. Questions or comments?
There are 3 pages of providers.
Yep.
This is a menu, isn't it? You only get to use the ones you need, or?
Yeah, they only use the ones they need. A lot of these we won't use, but they're there in case they do need them. So they just use them as required.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Yes.
And how is the rate of people in the alcohol and drug program this year as opposed to the year before, the past 2-3 years? Is that increasing at all or kind of stable?
It's consistent from what it's been.
So meaning that's similar?
Similar, yes. All in favor?
Aye. Make a motion to approve item number 21 is listed on the agenda.
I'll second that. Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Hall to approve item 21 on the agenda, purchase service agreements between Susquehanna County and the Services for Children and Youth with Fleetwood for a term of July 1st through June 30th, and between Susquehanna County Children and Youth and the Diocese of Scranton, and also with the Justice Works Youth Care. And 2 other ones, we also have the Justice Works Care in Pittsburgh and the Families United Network Incorporated in Muncie, PA, and Big Brothers Big Sisters. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So carried. Item 22.
I make a motion to approve item number 22 is listed on your agenda.
I'll second that. Motion by Commissioner Warren, second by Commissioner Hall to approve item 22 on the agenda to reappoint the following to the Susquehanna County Tourism Committee for a term of May 8th, 2015 through May 7th, 2016. That's Kim Ross, Michelle Schusnick, Andy Alvick, Greg Confer, and Alan Aronowitz. Questions or comments? Yes.
Now, are these the same people we had last year?
I
When you
think
say
there's one new one on this one.
Alan is new.
Alan is new.
Alan is new, so he's not a reappointment.
The rest are reappointments.
So can your motion be reworded because they're not all reappointments? One is a new person?
I'll amend my motion to say to appoint or reappoint the following.
I'll second that.
And then what does second commissioner mean on that line there?
Whoever seconds it. Really?
What does that mean, second commissioner?
Whoever seconds the motion.
Oh, is that what that means?
Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
23.
I'll make a motion to open the sealed bids for the HVAC maintenance contract, which we're doing in the chief clerk's office by 3 p.m. Tuesday, July 21st, 2015.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, let's see what we got here. This is from H.G. Lyons.
And what is HVAC? What is that? What is this?
High vac heating, running, and air conditioning. Okay, HT Lions, let's see. Price on here. Total base bid price is $270,444. Labor rates, regular 105 year one to 111 year three. This one is from PLD. This one is 202,000. The 3-year contract. And labor rate of $85 an hour. This is from McClure Company. McClure Company is $609,000
Oh,
for the 3 years.
big difference.
Could you read the labor rate for that, please?
That one was, Guston, regular is $98 an hour. Johnson Controls. Johnson Controls, their 3-year is $168,990. Their labor rate goes from $119 year 1 to $127 year 3.
So it's a 3-year contract too?
Yeah, 3 years contract. And this is D&J, Boston Jungle. This one is 537,780. Labor rate of 103 to 109. All right, these will be turned over to our solicitor and engineer for review, and will be awarded at the next meeting.
Can you explain anything about, what these contracts actually cover?
Yeah, it's the maintenance and service of all the heating and cooling systems in the facility.
So you're saying it can go, one contract says 168,000 and it goes all the way up to 609,000, big difference.
Mhm.
And then when they say an hourly rate, is that in addition to the whatever they
No,
charge?
like I said, they gotta go to the solicitor and go to the engineer for review. Then once they're all reviewed and make sure they're all bidding on the exact same thing, and they all say the exact same thing, then they'll come back with a recommendation from the engineering, from the solicitor.
Can you say what the last contract cost that you've been under?
We didn't have one.
Oh, this is for the new stuff,
Right.
all the new stuff you have.
Right.
Mm.
Any other public comment?
I have a question.
Yes.
The motions for Mary Nolde
Mhm.
are saying that her current salary is $39,000.
39.5, yes.
Well, actually, you're setting the salary for her. She's getting a raise because her current salary is $36,720.
Well, the current salary after the salary board is 39.5. We set the salary at 39.5 in the salary board.
39.5, because I only heard 39,000.
Yeah, it's 39.5.
So she's getting a raise, basically.
Yes. Any other questions? Yes.
Yes, I'd like to compliment Commissioners Hall and Warren for the fine job they've done in dealing with PennDOT. At the meeting on the 10th of the month, I think we finally got our representatives and PennDOT's attention. Whether anything positive will come, I don't know, but I think we've got their attention. And I appreciate the job you two did in accomplishing that.
We just have to keep the pressure on, let them know that what they've been doing is not acceptable and they have to do a better job.
Amen to that.
On that subject, I second that. Thank you. But here's a point of clarification. Is PennDOT allowed to issue a heavy haul permit on a Sunday?
I'm not sure on the heavy hauls right now in Pennsylvania, if they can haul on Sundays or not. I know they can haul up to a certain weight, but I don't know how heavy they can go.
Okay, I was curious because a Sunday in June, midday, there was the heavy haul going down 706, and then around the same time on Monday, it was there as well. And I wasn't clear on that. I thought they were restricted.
Well, they do restrict some, like the ones you usually won't see on the weekends will be the ones that have to be escorted by the state police because of their weight and size. But I do believe they do the other heavy hauls. They do allow them to work on, depending on where they're traveling and what they're doing, they may allow them to work on the weekends.
Thank you. And one other question. There was the commissioners granted permission for an event to take place on the green this weekend, which was very nice, and thank you for permitting that. But I just wonder, the policy, do you let the borough police know when you, because I don't believe they were informed that.
I think they were, and I think that we notified agencies that was going to go on. And I think also the people that were running that event were notifying people too.
The Pete Montrose police,
They were there.
on Monday I stopped and I was told that they weren't notified.
Well, they were there, they circled the green 3 times.
Good,
Yeah.
They were there.
thank you.
Any other questions? Yes.
Oh, me?
You?
All right. So, I think it was our June 25th meeting, your June 25th meeting, when you set a policy not allowing outside groups to use the courthouse, say after hours or. But on July 4th, I believe the KLR hosted race registrations in the courthouse.
That would be news to me.
So,
And why that occurred, I have no idea, but I will find out.
yeah, I'm just saying, your policy, I believe, was already violated.
Wouldn't be the first one.
Well,
Probably won't be the last one.
I told you when you said it that I was gonna keep an eye on it, and there's my eye.
Any other, yes.
I'm gonna go again. All right, so I believe a grant has been lost for the victim witness service coordinator in the district attorney's office.
Say what again?
That, a grant that helps supplement the salary of the victim witness coordinator was, has been lost and,
Well, not lost.
or cut, or,
No, it hasn't been cut.
all right.
So much is allocated per year, and because of the way the union set that position up, that person gets paid the scale of that grant until the grant expires, then goes to the rate that the individual is supposed to be at.
So that's gonna lead to a decrease in the salary for that position though,
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
And there's no way through county funds that we can,
No, because we have to pay according to the union contract, and the union contract says that that person gets paid the same as all the other union employees.
and while we're talking about union contracts,
Mm-hmm.
we're starting our COs, and I know they're in a different bargaining unit, but our COs start at 1303.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, and again, basically, there's no experience required for that position.
Right.
But we have our deputies
Mm-hmm.
who are hired at, like, it's a base of 11 something an
Mhm.
hour.
Yep.
Who have to have certifications, who have to be Act 120 certified, who, you
Mhm.
know, who are carrying weapons and are going out to potentially dangerous situations.
Mm-hmm.
And yet, there's no way we can adjust.
Well, unfortunately, all the union contracts have a Me Too clause in them. And the union will not allow us to adjust salaries without giving everybody an automatic salary increase too. So if we give all the deputies a $2 an hour increase, then every employee that's in the union is entitled to a $2 an hour increase.
In that bargaining unit.
In all the bargaining units. All the bargaining units have that clause in there. Now, I don't know what whiz-bang individual on the county side agreed to let that get put in the contract, but obviously didn't know anything about negotiations or union contracts.
So when, you know, when will you be, when is the deputy's contract? Is that the court bargaining?
No, I think they're out in 2019 is when there's.
So until then, we have to keep them extremely low.
Well, unless, you know, the
Underpaid.
employees decide to do something different, or as far as their agreement with the union, or they convince their union leadership that they need to do something different.
All right.
Yes,
Did you say whiz bang?
I said whiz-bang.
Just wanted to be clear.
Probably the same whiz-bang guy that signed an agreement back 60 years ago about county should own 3 dams here and should only cost us $400 a year to fix them when it costs us over $100,000 a year. And the same whiz-bang that signed up with the PennDOT and said, we'll take 32 bridges back because we're nice people and we need to have 32 bridges in this county. So, again, people make decisions and they don't really think of how it's gonna affect 5 or 10 years down the road. And that's my biggest issue with this place.
Thank you.
So, yes.
I was wondering why, number 5, the minutes were tabled for the
Because
approval.
Mr. Jean Greco's not here and Commissioner Warren was not at the last meeting, and I can't pass the minutes by myself.
Okay, and then another question is, how do you feel the job is being done right now? You were hoping, or you think that the job could be better as far as the roads, the way they're surfaced and fixed? What would you like to see better?
Well, in our discussion we had with PennDOT, the quality of work needs to improve. The way they're putting coal patch on the road, they can't just dump it in a pile and wait for a car to run it over to back it down. They need to take a little hand tamper out there and tamp it down. They'll reduce the amount of material they use, which means they'll be able to do twice as much. Roads that have potholes in them that they've got to get off their fixing every other pothole and fix every pothole. You know, we can't fix 3 in a row and then leave 2 and then fix 3 more. So, you know, things like that, quality of work, workmanship, bridge decks there's problems with, they're addressing that with contractors, trying to figure out what they're gonna do to repair those bridge decks that are already falling apart that were just done a year ago.
And then how do you feel the job is done right now for 706, the new resurfacing? Do you feel it's done well, or is it going to break down again a year from now?
Well, 706, you know, there was no base, there was some base repair done to it on the edges, but it's the same problem. If I went to Bradford County, they would have milled the whole road down and got down to the base, something that's halfway decent, and redone the road. But in Susquehanna County, we just keep adding more blacktop on top of blacktop on top of blacktop. And yeah, you'll get a few good years out of it. You know, Route 11 from Kingsley to the county line going south was done a few years ago, and they didn't mill that down, and you know, that's already cracking and heaving apart and everything else. So, you know, it'll buy them a few years, but with the traffic on 706 and the weather conditions. They still haven't done anything with the drainage issues on the side of on the upward side of the road. So all the water's still gonna run out into the road and underneath the blacktop, and still the frost is gonna get in it and heave it. So it'll last for a little while.
So in your opinion, the specs are not adequate? And why is there a difference between Bradford and Susquehanna County?
Well, we keep asking that same question.
Who do we call?
Well, you can call the Director of Transportation in Harrisburg, see if you can get an answer from them.
But it's clear that there is a difference in the
Well,
specs
sure.
between the,
And the reason they say that is, listen, we don't have enough money to take and do the roads the way they probably should be done to make them last a long time. So we do the best we can with what we have to work with as far as money. Now, their excuse is that in the latest passage of the gas tax increase that our legislators did, was that they have put all this new money into the Department of Transportation for roads, but it's all for new roads, not for maintenance of old roads. So now we sit here with the state with the highest gas tax, and we get no additional money for the maintenance on the roads. In addition to that, which compounds it, is the federal government, who's been, I don't even know if they're even still in Washington or if they've all gone out to sea someplace, but their continuing resolutions that they've done for the last who knows how many years and can't seem to do their jobs, has cut the funding on state highway programs to our counties, which means now the state has to make up for that, which means we're even losing even more. So.
I think the most truthful thing George Roberts said at the meeting was, we've been putting Band-Aids on for years, and now they're all falling off.
Well, there you go.
And who is George Roberts? What's his position?
He's the director of PennDOT out of Dunmore,
Alan,
handles this region. Yes.
when they done the widening of a lot of these roads, doing the width they wanted them, there was no base put under them, I know. And because I complained about it, but it was like talking to the wind,
Mm-hmm.
because I said, look on hold.
Right.
And that's why there's a lot of the problems on the sides of the road.
That's why the edges of the roads are always the part where the roads fall apart.
Well, they
because
widened
there's no
it, they
base.
didn't put no base in.
Right.
I
No
do-
drainage,
Another
no
thing,
base.
did you hear me ask George if inspectors were supposed to be riding around their vehicles instead of out on the job?
Well, listen, I have to agree, and I can't remember if it was Bill or somebody else at the meeting said, you gotta give them a lot of credit though. This new road they put in over on 171 going over to Susquehanna with that in front of the Mormons facility.
Tony said that.
This is a brand new road they put in, and they managed to take and get this road so it matches a road that's been in for 25 years. It's a roller coaster, roughest road I've been on.
Good they're doing something right.
Yeah, so, I give them credit, they were able to make a road that looked 25 years old, so.
I do believe on the 706 betterment portion, 706 betterment project portion, that Leeward has a 5-year bond from the date they finish to maintain the road for that time period.
Right.
So at least,
Right.
I don't know
And
what,
that's the same
I
with
don't
a
know
lot
what
of the new
Pensy
bridges.
has on there.
Right. I'm not sure what Pensy has, but on some of the new bridges, on the Rapid Bridge Replacement Program, on some of the new bridges, the contractors maintain them for like 5 years before they turn them back over to the state. I know that it's
I spend a
happening.
lot of time talking to Leeward
Yeah,
people,
yeah.
since they're out.
But you gotta remember too that, there's 2 projects that were on the table, which hopefully we've got to stop to now. One was 706, going from Rush down to the county line, to do that 5-mile stretch. They were gonna go in and buy some homes, straighten the road out a little bit. They were gonna spend $27.5 million to do that. I said, well, before you spend that $27.5 million on that road, why don't you spend that money on all the other roads that are falling apart that we can't even drive on? And maybe just blacktop that road for now instead of spending all that money trying to straighten it out and make it a straighter road. 706, and I don't know if it's still on the drawing boards or not, I think they've got it off right now, 706 coming out of New Milford, they were looking to make it 3 lanes coming up through there.
Right, there's gonna be a
And-
passing lane that was on
And
the,
I can't imagine that's not gonna cost hundreds of millions of dollars to do
yes,
that.
and that one was going to require property, the taking of property
Right.
and lots of, and,
So again, instead of spending all that money, you'd have
I went
enough
to a
money to
meeting.
repave all the roads.
I went to a meeting on that like 10 years ago now.
Right.
But,
But the Gibson exit, that's on the table right now to get redone.
right,
And now I find out that the exit in Great Bend there, it used to be 68, it's what, 230? Yeah. Now they're looking at redoing the off-ramps there and buying a bunch of property and doing stuff there. So, my main issue is I understand that they want to try to straighten out the past, make straighter roads, but let's fix all the roads that are bad first before we start investing all that money into something else.
well, I haven't been on the Brushville Road since this spring, but there was an area that was complete dirt. I went from pavement to dirt.
Well, they actually did a decent job on that now.
Did they, like, I didn't
Except
bother
except
going
when you
back.
get almost into Susquehanna. They stopped about maybe,
There was, another place on 92.
yeah, they stopped maybe about 300 yards from Susquehanna, and it's a disaster. So,
Yeah, so, yeah.
anything else? Yes.
Brushville, West Main, that's.
I've been asking about the water testing results for
Mhm.
the jail.
Yep.
And I've only gotten the results that show the chlorine or the levels
I
of,
think Maggie's got the other ones. Didn't you give her the other reports that we had?
so I was looking for the reports that show whatever DEP has been doing or is requiring for the testing.
Are there water test reports?
Yes, I emailed all of those to you yesterday.
Oh, my whole system went down yesterday.
Okay, after the meeting, I will get you a copy.
Okay, so you have DEP results of testing
I have testing results, yes, for you.
that show heavy metals or whatever? Do you know, does the DEP actually test that?
No, we test it in compliance with DEP, and we would file our reports with DEP.
And do you know how often you do that? Is it once a
There's
year?
Yeah, there's a schedule. I don't know it off the top of my head.
And then were you able to find out whether the Superfund status of the former Bendix property, has that been lifted? That is no longer Superfund? Have they met all the requirements?
No, it's still on the Superfund site, but any property that gets on the Superfund site pretty much stays there because the federal government doesn't have any money to do anything anyway. But that site through the remediation and my understanding through the federal government and through the agencies is that, if it wasn't on the Superfund site, if it was on the Pennsylvania listings, it would already be cleared up by now. So it's just a lot of red tape to try and get cleared up and taken care of.
So as far as you understand, the remediation is done, is that what you're saying?
Well, the remediation as far as being able to use the land. The only thing you can't do down there is use the drinking water out of the ground.
So you can use the land, but you can't use the water, so you can't put in a water well
No.
and use the water. And then were you able to find out what's going on with the 29 homes in that area also, that they can they or cannot use their
I
water?
have no idea.
So are you going to eventually get like some kind of paperwork to show that that's the case, what you just stated, so you have it on, actually in writing?
I don't need it. I'm not doing anything down there. That's all private individuals and companies and corporations that are doing that work, so it's got nothing to do with us.
Do you know who we can contact for the Superfund letters for that, if we want to get a copy? But the remediation.
Try and get ahold of Honeywell, and they're the ones that own the property.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, we are adjourned. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming, Tricia.